Look, this was an incredible achievement for our military to support this law enforcement action. An illegitimate communist dictator who poisoned Americans, sent criminals, emptied out his prisons, and was playing host to China, Russia, and Iran in our backyard is now gone. I would hope that as Americans we can celebrate that maybe for a day or for a week. Now, we want stability right now, and because there's a continuity of government right now, the Venezuelans are going to have, some options. They're going to have their own opportunity to change their own government, and that's a good thing. But I think right now, again, a very specific, deliberate, thoughtful mission was carried out successfully without any American loss of life. And illegitimate communist dictators not there. The Venezuelan people, I think, will be much better for it. And as an American senator, I think as Americans we're much safer too without having the nefarious actors like China in the backyard.
But look, here's the distinction, because you all want to kind of take it back to Iraq or Afghanistan or something like that. Very different here. He's talking about working with them on an economic basis as allies, and that's for the mutual benefit of Venezuela and our country. That benefits both of us. That's not boots on the ground.
Was it a mistake to leave the Maduro?
Oh, and by the way, Chris Wright, who's brilliant, and Marco Rubio, who's brilliant, are the guys that are working with them, and they're working with them on an economic basis. Don't we want to work with friends and allies on an economic basis, and for the benefit of their people as well as ours, rather than a corrupt regime?
I think that the rhetoric around Greenland has probably been the issue that's driven this the most, because I think everybody's really excited about how well things have gone in Venezuela, but they don't like the idea that perhaps things could go differently as it relates to Greenland. And I think you're starting to see people speak up and just say, hey, because I can tell you this, I've spoken with the Prime Minister of Denmark and officials from Greenland. They are more than willing to work with America on our strategic interests in the Arctic, and that's what we should do.
Are you?
In my view, I respect their decision. They're dead wrong. There'll be plenty of people here to make sure this doesn't happen. They're going to own screwing up the best chance we've ever had to liberate the people of Venezuela and make our country safer from drug poisoning. What is Trump doing? We don't have troops on the ground now, but he's telling the people who come in after Maduro, if I need to, everything's on the table. If you screw with me, you're going to wind up like Maduro. We want a transition so we can have a free and fair election, and regime change in Venezuela comes to the ballot box. So I'm not going to take any options off the table for the president. If he needs to sell Venezuelan oil to create an account to run the country because they're about out of money, fine. To my colleagues, because you may disagree with him, run for president. Your job is not to be commander-in-chief. There's a single commander-in-chief in this country. No. There's a single commander-in-chief in this country. And in the history of this country, we've never had a successful effort by Congress to terminate a decision to use military force because we disagree. We can stop funding like they tried to do in Vietnam. So I don't know where the votes are going to be, but I know this. It's the worst idea in the world to keep us safe and liberate Venezuela.